attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But can I just say this?
Have platforms that have stuff on them that not everyone on that platform or who consumes stuff on that platform enjoys. And The View is a particularly weird place to do a cancellation.
It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America. There is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
Bill Maher is coming for Whoopi Goldberg again, and this time, it's explosive. Whoopi has built a reputation for what critics call out-of-touch takes and off-color commentary. But if there's anyone ready to challenge her head-on, it's Maher. His takedown, sharp, ruthless, and brutally direct. So, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right into it.
What did you think of Whoopi Goldberg saying it's worse to be a black person in America today than a woman in Iran? You know, I see we were talking about the trans issue before, and the New York Times really has come over on that to the sort of the sensible, liberal, not crazy woke position. I think this is a great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity, and a second good step would be we got to do something about The View. I really believe that. I mean, could you just
it's huge in Iran, though.
Maher takes aim at Goldberg over a claim he says simply doesn't hold up under scrutiny. He argues that comparing black Americans to women in Iran ignores critical differences. In Iran, women face strict legal and social restrictions, from enforced dress codes and surveillance to unequal rights in marriage, travel, and the justice system. Many have even been arrested or imprisoned for defying compulsory hijab laws. Meanwhile, black Americans, despite real challenges, fully participate in civic life, voting, owning businesses, holding office, and shaping national policy. The contrast is undeniable. Maher's critique cuts through the noise, calling the comparison deeply flawed and misleading.
The View in Iran, all with the same head cover. You can't even tell which one is which.
My district in the great state of Texas is actually a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 25 points. As I said, I'm a direct descendant of a slave. My great-great-grandfather was born on a Rosedown plantation. I am literally being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. That's the progress, because, like, a lot of white people had to vote for me. A lot.
So wait,
I don't even ever want to hear Whoopi Goldberg's conversation about how it's worse to be black in America right now. That's a bit far. And my father, who's 75 years old, he was a man that was in the French quarters that had to go get a sandwich to the back door of the building. And his son is now a United States congressman in a white majority district in Texas as a Republican. That is America. That's America.
Wesley Hunt brings in a powerful perspective, referencing his great-grandfather who lived through an era of undeniable oppression over a century ago. That contrast highlights just how far the black community has come, from segregation and systemic exclusion to representation at the highest levels of society. Critics argue Goldberg's statement overlooks that progress and leans into a one-sided narrative. Yes, challenges remain, but exaggerating them to the point of distortion helps no one. For Hunt and others, this reflects a broader trend of reducing complex realities into dramatic sound bites.
Juneteenth, that's a Texas holiday. It began in Texas in Galveston. General Granger came and read the Order Number 3 that finally abolished slavery months after the war, because the war took a time to get to Galveston. We celebrated that when I was a kid in Texas, but it becomes national a year or two ago, and Donald Trump doesn't want to celebrate that. To me, it's exactly what you're talking about. So, is it 600,000 people died so that we wouldn't enslave people anymore, and the fact that freedom won is a good thing, and we should honor that. That's what Juneteenth's about. And I don't know why President Trump doesn't want to honor that.
So I don't want it. I don't want Black History Month. I don't want all these days for it to make everybody feel special. I'm an 80s baby. Everybody's too sensitive anyway. We're all Americans anyway. This holiday
That's what Morgan Freeman said.
Morgan Freeman said, I can't agree more with him.
Yeah, he said that to Mike Wallace. He said, I'm an American. Do you want to be called a Jew American, Mike?
No.
Maher even finds himself aligning, in part, with Donald Trump on this issue. Something that isn't entirely surprising given his long-standing criticism of identity politics. His argument is simple but provocative. Dedicating an entire month to a specific race, like Black History Month, may risk reinforcing division instead of unity. According to Maher, constantly emphasizing differences can unintentionally deepen social divides rather than heal them.
Celebrate Juneteenth too, and non-Italians celebrate Columbus Day. And
I'm all for any holiday.
I'm half Irish. Do I get half the day off on St. Patrick's Day?
But a lot of
I get half drunk.
Everybody gets drunk on St. Patrick's Day. That's a good point.
Did you have a question for the congressman there?
No, are you telling me you're black?
Yes.
You don't see color, right?
We don't see color.
Maher's guest raises a point that resonates with many. Perhaps it's time to move beyond defining ourselves primarily by race and instead embrace a shared identity. The idea isn't about ignoring history or erasing differences. Culture and heritage matter. But when race becomes the dominant lens for everything, it can overshadow what unites people. The goal, they argue, is balance, unity without erasure, diversity without division.
Okay, and finally, new rule. Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you fucked in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. Yeah.
Maher then turns his attention to The View, arguing the show may actually be hurting liberalism more than helping it. He suggests that exaggerated takes and out-of-touch commentary can make the broader left seem disconnected from everyday Americans. Instead of persuading viewers, it can push them away, even frustrating some within the same political.
Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts and masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't define woman, I mean person who menstruates. You're the teachers' union education party, and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
Maher doesn't hold back, accusing Goldberg and the hosts of pushing what he sees as woke narratives over fact-based discussion. In his view, the show often drifts away from logic and evidence, leaning heavily on emotional arguments. The result? What feels less like debate and more like an echo chamber, where opposing views go largely unchallenged.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative. They also found that voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, they wanted her to distance herself from what they believe the entire Democratic Party has become, a Portlandia sketch.
Critics are also raising concerns about the Democratic National Committee, arguing it has become increasingly out of touch with voters. Some suggest Kamala Harris may need to distance herself from certain messaging strategies, but doing so isn't easy. Many leading figures heading toward the 2028 election cycle are closely aligned with the same direction, making a major shift unlike.
I want to talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. It just happened to coincide. But can I just say this? I had on last week Ira Glasser, former longtime head of the ACLU, talking about free speech. Whoopi Goldberg, who, by the way, I hope is still a friend, we can disagree with each other, should not be canceled or put off her show, as much as I totally disagree with her crazy statement. Free speech.
Despite his clashes with Goldberg, Maher remains consistent on one key principle: free speech. Even when he strongly disagrees, he doesn't support calls to remove her from the show. In his view, bad ideas should be challenged with better ideas, not silenced. At the same time, he points out what he sees as a double standard in how free speech is defended.
Isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America. There is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's correct. I think that's not actually, you're right, the name raises questions, and certainly there's been some much covered internal politics on that show, but I do think that, you know, there is space. Even that show does have space. When Whoopi said what she said, there was quick pushback from other panelists. They were like, oh, I don't know. Actually, I think that might not be right.
And that's the core criticism of The View. Strong opinions are welcome, but dissent often isn't. When opposing views emerge, discussions can quickly turn confrontational rather than constructive. Critics argue this creates a one-sided conversation that limits real dialogue and alienates viewers. In the end, Maher's broader point is clear. When shows prioritize ideology over balanced discussion, they risk losing credibility and weakening their own message. And with that, we wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.